Yeah, we are live, American Dream Radio. We're back in the building. To the right of me, maybe your left. I don't know how it's looking out there in video land across the world, but we got a legendary person in the building. DJ JAZZY JOYCE is in the building. What I'm gonna do though is rewind this and make sure I get my introduction right, because I want them to know you're here, but I want to make sure we do this right, because we're always trying to set people up.
Just take your time.
Talk about Ladies Night.
Yeah.
I want to say that's the first time that I personally started to lock into your sound. Okay. And it sort of became like, okay, who's that on the radio? Why do they got a female DJ there? And that was the first time when I really locked into it. However, I know you were running some Sweet Tea and a whole bunch of other stuff, but got a legend in the building, an iconic legend, and what I define as legend and icon is when I look at the big picture of hip hop, I'm gonna see Melly Mel there. I'm gonna see the Furious Five and those guys there. I'm gonna see Run DMC there. Shout out to April Walker. I told her I'll make sure I see her there on that picture. But I also feel like I'm gonna see JAZZY JOYCE somewhere. I don't know.
I hope so.
I don't know where the picture in this collage. I just know when I look at that collage, it's like LL Cool J. Run DMC. Wait, you gotta be there. I gotta put you there.
The scary thing, not to deviate from whatever direction you want to go in, but speaking about pictures and collages and all, you know that legendary hip hop painting with his whole bunch.
I know what you're talking about.
Isn't it scary how many people on there are not with us anymore?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So I don't know if I want to be in the picture just yet.
Well, maybe we don't put you in there yet, because we don't need you going no time.
Well, we're going to do a Mount Rushmore then. We're going to do a DJ's Mount Rushmore.
At the end of the day, I have to go at some point. So
yeah, we all got to, right?
But while I'm here, I did some stuff.
My grandma said, when it's your time, your time. Listen, everybody, I'm glad y'all in the building. Miss DJ JAZZY JOYCE, the legend, is in the building with us today. Make some noise, some applause, some
Can I get an air horn or something, a bomb?
There's something going on in there.
Fly tie, what's up?
There's something going on in there. We got an engineer, we got a DJ. Somebody pushing the button.
That's what I'm talking about, Ty. Shouts to the DJ.
Yeah, I'm just so happy you're here, and thank you so much. Shout out to the manager for putting this whole thing together.
Yes,
and you for
Jenna.
making yourself super available for this moment right here.
Yes.
This means a lot to me. I know Trev and I know Miss Tiff and Ty especially is a DJ. So, you know, from the time Ty is busy a lot. So even from the very beginning, I said, Ty, when we get JAZZY JOYCE on the show, I don't care what you got going on that day. I need you here.
But today he thought it was his day off. He was like, when I came in, he was like, this is another one of these shows where they're like, oh, you gonna DJ? I'm like, I've been DJing for a long time, but a lot of times people don't get to talk.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
You understand what I'm saying? So then it's like we keeping the assumptions perpetual.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I really, in my mind, me and Jen spoke last night, and she asked me, she's like, did you want to DJ? And I was like, and no offense, I was like, not really. I just want to talk to her.
Thank you.
Like,
give him the air horn or something, Ty. Come on.
You tell us to everybody when they come up here, I don't want to hear your bars. I don't want to hear your DJ. Like, I really want to have a conversation that would get a chance to tell people your journey, your life, and those type of things. I mean,
I've been back there long enough.
Now, I was going to say, if you want to beat me up and say, I got a DJ while I'm here, I'm not going to stop you.
At the end, we could do, I'll come over, you know,
maybe
pause.
Look,
pause.
Hey.
I'll step behind the turntable.
But again, in all honesty, we were here for the conversation, man.
Thank you.
One of our hashtags and slogan is legendary talk, and anytime we get a legend in the building, we want to have legendary talk. We want a timeline. Yeah, I want to know from the very beginning, 19-something.
So I'm gonna just because
we'll get to that maybe at 12 o'clock, but in the beginning, 1 o'clock. I'm sorry.
I'm like,
we all over. We're gonna start off early. We're gonna start off early.
You know we're never gonna make it through it. It's a setup. You get her to come back. I keep telling you it's a setup.
Well then, and then when I come back next time, I'll come prepared to DJ, but at least I came bearing gifts.
No,
so
this is something special right here.
Thank you.
You know,
this is something special. Can we open one maybe, or
absolutely.
Can we?
Whoever wants to open theirs.
I'm gonna open. You want to sign mine?
Yes, I have a chart. So listen, first and foremost, what they're talking about is what I call it is Need That Rose Gold.
Oh, I definitely picked the right one.
Basically, one of the components, it's a clothing venture that I'm starting off with, and Need That Rose Gold is the Instagram page.
Okay.
So, but this component of it, before I get into the printed part of it, is what I've been doing is just painting, hand-painted shirts. I was doing it, like if you've been following me for a while and you see the shirts, and one of my good friends is down in Florida, and he was like, yo, who's the shirts that you've been wearing? And he's my good friend, and I'm like, Tony, it's me. I've been hand painting them. And he didn't know. He was like, why aren't you telling anybody? So I guess this is a moment to really tell y'all.
So are you saying this is like an exclusive? You telling the world about these shirts?
Exactly.
Hey,
if you want to order,
one,
if you want to order them, hit my website. That's the easiest way.
Can you tell about your website? Because our between our 1 and 100 listeners that might be listening right now.
Listen, let me
I want to make sure they can find it.
Before I say, let me say what it is. www.djjazzyjoyce.us or .us.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
So holla and
no, we want to make sure every day we plug this. We say this to everybody. If you here, you're a friend in the room forever.
Thank you.
This might sit here for 2 weeks, and we just might keep saying it.
No,
every
wear
day.
it. It's 900 degrees outside. You got a white one.
I ain't trying to mess this up. You crazy?
Listen,
white party day. I ain't trying to mess this up.
You can save it for a white party.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I tell somebody this came right out of Jazzy Joyce's hands. Me, this is not getting worn on a regular hot day.
Yeah,
but,
I wore an outfit, an all-white outfit that I painted up, and you will stand out amongst everyone.
What's your motivation? Where'd you just woke up one day and said I'm gonna paint some shirts, or where'd this come from?
It's another component of the culture of hip hop, meaning it was the right. So this is just exactly.
Right.
So it's just another expression, a form of expression within the culture that what I'm doing is actually allowing you guys to watch the development of the process, meaning from the beginning. Like if you look on the gram, you can see where it started, because that was the moment that I started feeling braver about showing and expressing it. So now you see, if you look at the pictures, you'll see the progression and the elevation of it. And the purpose of doing that was when you look back at it, I can utilize it as a tool in explaining to someone about how long it takes to develop. Because we could tell a person all day.
Right. Now, you DJ, that's your main thing.
Right. First and foremost.
Is drawing like a hobby, or when you come up with these shirts, are you just going up the top of your head, or can you actually draw and be like...
Oh, I can actually... I wish I had a paper up here, but if you see my signature, then you'll understand the energy of... it has...
Because it has that Basquiat feel.
But the graffiti... Oh, the way it does, well, maybe...
No. Well, the paint that you use, it just has that feel.
The way
and it's original and everything. And
I like it. I really like the shirts. I think they're hard. I feel like this is threw a biggie one on the low.
I'm gonna need a silver marker for my shirt because it's black. Because I need you to sign it.
You so pimpish.
You know what it is? I want you to know about your trouble is from Harlem.
No, but I just broke it down real quick. He just had to smile.
He's serious. Trevor gonna watch eBay. Watch him. You better watch him.
I'm watching him right here. I gotta go.
He ain't wearing that. That shirt is gonna be somewhere.
Oh, he going eBay?
He might frame it. I don't know.
And I can't really curse because your baby here.
See, that's out of $3 a curse word.
Right. That's the BS. Gonna bring your son and tell us not to curse.
I want him to witness history too as
well. See, you want him to see Daddy pimping. I love it.
I don't want him to see Daddy pimping.
Now, speaking of pimping, I'm glad we segued into this because we felt like this is really, really good.
Speaking of pimping.
Word.
We got a new female co-host here.
Okay.
Miss Tiff Real Estate. We love her, known each other, went to real estate school together years ago. I voted for a stripper. Trevor voted for an educated black woman.
Love it.
But look, strippers are smart.
No. I outvoted.
I told him, I said, listen, if you're going to get a stripper, get one that's paying for school.
No.
I told him I would bring a stripper.
From Players Club. Don't get,
I would bring a stripper.
None of that. I just want to
just said,
ratchet report.
Go get the diamond from Players Club type stripper.
I
just get the one that's stripping and
when the dollar drop, I want her to knock the whole table over and just go grab and get the. I just want her to. These is natural instincts she need to have. Like I don't need her out here trying to be smart and educated, but we gonna give Tiff all the love and we open this platform for her. But if it doesn't work out, next time you watch
we
out
going stripping honey.
That's it. This is the last time we gonna educated. I told her I don't want to see nothing smart.
Listen, Tiff, it's cool, but you understand. I have I teeter-totter between male mentality.
Okay.
So that's why I'm kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, over
She
here,
did
like,
tell me that there's nothing wrong with the strip club, and
I
it's
know.
okay. And
Okay, so Tip, let's talk. What
All right. Talking
So
about?
you're in the real estate game?
Yes.
Because I'm semi kind of pitching and kind of little tiny.
You do it all, huh?
No, but I've been interviewing for 15 years. Remember on the
You was on Hot 97.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Right.
ladies'
So,
night, we're gonna get to
yeah.
that.
So real quick, how long have you been in the real estate?
I've been
license?
doing real estate for about 5 to 6 years.
Wow. So
Yes.
you just now kind of, in a sense, right after the education part and then the grind part, now you fine tweaking your hustle and your persuasion and the
Absolutely.
lines that work. Like you did your data. That 5,
Yes.
6 years of doing data of like, what have I said that gets the better feedback, or what do I do that gets the better feedback, and the little nuances and things that you do to fine tune a place that you're showing.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
so
I
that's
agree.
what's
Yes.
up.
Yes.
That's what's up. So, do you like it?
I love it. I love it. I love the I went from residential to commercial.
Oh,
So now-
big money.
Yeah.
Residential is different
See?
because they
Yeah.
start you
You
out
know.
with that, like sell these apartments, flip these apartments. It's a little flip, and then when you got that commission, tell me how that felt for the commission for the first.
But if my first
Commercial
sale
prop.
of my first commission on my I'm sorry.
You don't have
my
to tell
first
the amount, but
commission-
just say how it felt.
It felt good because it was an easy deal, to tell you the truth. It was an easy deal, which is very rare. Showed the space one time. It was a rental, got a 10-year lease.
Oh.
So I had, my breakdown was something like 5.544332211. So you get 3% increases of the lease per year. So the rent goes up 3% each year, but you still get that breakdown. So right now, I'm moving towards investment sales. I want to sell buildings and do development and things like that. So
She got a
I'm
one.
We
do
got a
it?
Harlem. Come
Yeah.
on, everybody. Harlem
She got a
shake for her.
$1.4 million building.
It's over now.
Something.
Actually, Trevor was on 106 in Park.
Yeah, what?
Harlem Shaking. This was.
Wait,
this
who was up there?
See, y'all think I'm just digging on I'm digging on everybody. Don't put yourself out there and think I ain't gonna find you.
Yo, he got the gigging fingers.
I
When you
will
see him.
find you, Trevor. And don't make me put it up on the summer jam.
Wait, but I know what else you do with them.
Making sure they get it. I try to keep the interview off me as much as possible. I'm going to church.
1999, I was in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in high school.
That's a disclaimer right there. It's a high
Yeah,
school.
that's right.
It's all right. Listen.
I was definitely Harlem shaking there, though.
But you were at 106 in Park.
I was in the audience, but somehow
They got you.
And
Same
then-
way today? Same way today?
Right.
Just found you again, huh?
Yeah.
Boy,
And
that
then what was your moves about?
I was there. I could battle you back then. Right
not now?
Talking about his gimpy knee.
Yeah,
and-
right
and-
now I'm chill. I'm playing the wall.
But look, you still handsome.
Thank you, baby.
He still got it. He still holding together. This one we're gonna do, Miss Jazzy Joyce. We do South American Dream Radio called a little name association.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So this one I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let everybody throw out some names. I'm gonna start this off. I'm gonna steal the first cheating name. And I'm gonna say the name and I want you to tell me what does it mean or what does that moment mean or that person and give us a little reflection on some of these names. I got Sweet Tea.
Okay. That was the first hit single that I've ever been a part of in my career, meaning the first time I ever recorded a record professionally was on Tommy Boy Records with this group called Sweet Trio, and that happened in 1983.
Who was in that group? I'm sorry.
Lisa Lee. No, not Lisa Lee. I'm sorry. Lisa Lee, that was another
Shout out
part
to
of it.
Lisa Lee,
So,
though.
but shouts to her, too. But it was Lisa, Debbie, and another young lady. I can't
Don't worry
quite
about it.
remember. Yeah, I got a lot of
I had a
names.
good time in my life too. I
No,
can't
no, no.
remember.
And what was the song?
Called Nonstop.
Okay.
On Tommy Boy Records, and I also did the vocal backgrounds on this record that was produced by the gentleman that put us all together. His name was DJ JAZZY, and he produced this record called Play That Beat. Why don't you play it for me? Switch the mix, Mr. DJ. It was made back then, so we were the background vocals. Like,
Gotcha.
so if you hear the record, if you went and Googled it right now and you heard it, you could kind of hear my voice in it, like, because the tone of us is like, play that beat. Why don't you play it for me? Switch the mix, Mr. DJ. So when you hear the record, you'll understand I was one of the voices.
I
So
get in your
anyway.
business and said, did you get paid for that
No,
moment?
of
Okay,
course,
because I know the
no.
record industry
Right,
is funny.
yeah,
That
right.
was the first
So-
time out there.
Right, the learning. So anyway, fast forwarding to answer your question. My next venture happened because I used to live in Parkchester in the Bronx.
Okay.
Joski
what's up?
Love, who made Pee Wee Dance, was dating Sweet Tea
Remember that
at the
song,
time.
yeah.
She was from Queens. Long story short, he was like, yo, Jazzy Joyce, what's up? My girl's coming out with an album and working on some stuff. Would you like to be her DJ? And the rest is history.
Were you DJing already at that point?
Absolutely. I was
Okay.
already
Jazzy Joyce?
famous. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
at
okay.
13. Like, so that's why he asked me.
Man, that's cool.
So we made that record, and it was a hit.
Did you expect it to be a hit that day, or when
We
you were
didn't
making the
know.
record?
We
rather?
didn't know. We didn't know we were making history. We didn't know. I mean, we didn't know we were making history. Okay, of course there were other people recording before us, like black artists and all of this, but we were forging a new genre.
Hip-hop.
We were hip hop,
It was
right?
never-
So you know, we just didn't know to do certain things because we didn't understand how we were impacting the world back then.
I know somebody once said to me, when you are in it, you really can't see it.
You
because
can't.
you're in it.
I'm back out here talking to y'all. I didn't mean to get so passionate, but that's so true because I'm like in the tunnel of it. There's certain things that I was going through and stuff, and I know that people probably could have seen certain things, and I kind of want to go back and backslap some people like,
How did you see that?
why didn't you help?
Yeah, I get it.
You understand? So
Totally
you
get
know
it.
what I mean?
Yeah,
like when you
totally.
have the hindsight. So anyway.
Well, shout out to Sweet Tea. I just want you to know I
Yes.
had the biggest crush on Sweet Tea.
She's
you
still
didn't.
I know
beautiful.
somebody is out here probably like,
No,
I hate
you
you, Khalil.
didn't.
I'm sorry. Like,
No, she
I
still
really, she was, that was my, if I ever got on at the time, that was she was her. I know I said this
I
about
know
like
somebody
three
had
other
a bigger
girls.
crush than you.
Yeah, no, a lot of she is.
She was just like,
She
I haven't
is,
seen, and
still.
I haven't seen, when I
She
started digging a little bit, I started finding some newer pictures
She
on it, but I just haven't seen
reemerged
it.
on social media.
What's her name? 'Cause I'm gonna tell my man to go find her. He's
No, I'll give it to you
gonna
after.
find
I don't want to, since I'm on live right now, I don't
You
want to
don't wanna-
switch the screen and go to it, but I'll give it to you.
718-239-9200. We got a legend in the building.
Yes.
DJ Jazzy Joyce is in the building. Just want to make sure everybody out there in TV, radio land, podcast, and paying attention what's going on.
Yeah.
This is Legendary Talk. She's definitely giving us a little bit of insight. First thing I definitely want to ask was about that Sweet Tea thing, because I felt like that was the
start, like it was the
start.
There
First time the world seen you, I guess. I would put
Kinda.
it.
I would definitely credit that situation with that, because it took about 10 years for people to stop saying the last line. Like, not the last line, but the ending where her and I go back and forth with, where she's like, Jazzy Joyce on the wheels, no one better. So it's like she says, Jazzy Joyce on the wheels.
No one better.
You supposed to say,
Oh, I'm messing up.
so just say my name. Just say my name.
Jazzy Joyce.
On the wheels.
No one better.
No.
I messed it up.
Yeah, just say
That's
my
why we got a DJ.
Right, that's why.
we
So
gonna-
look,
we gonna
one more
find that
time.
song.
Real quick.
What am I
Just
saying?
say
Hold
my
on.
name. Just say my name.
All
So
Jazzy Joyce.
on the wheels,
Jazzy Joyce.
no one better.
Jazzy Joyce.
Speeding faster than an 86 Jetta. See, you know what I'm saying? So that part.
I know I could rap. I told you I could. I know I was gonna be able to do this.
But it took about 10 years for people to stop saying that upon seeing me.
Was that good or bad for you then?
After a while, you know, not understanding what fame was, all of that. All it did was give me a gauge on how things can be, how long they can affect, and
Yeah.
how like that was knowledge. When you look back on it, and you
Absolutely.
can understand how something can how to set it up to be impactful with longevity. If that makes any
Totally
sense.
makes sense. Totally makes
You
sense.
know, like for example, there's a couple of things that are going out of business, but they've been stained in our system for a long time. Newspapers, a lot of places, a lot of
Stores are closing
stores,
down.
and, that they've been, but you don't realize how much you've been marketed and branded.
Blockbuster.
And But it's,
Right, yeah.
right, but it's, even though it's been closed probably for more than 10 years, it's still etched in your system. As you said the word, all of us could see the blue and yellow logo.
You're going to rent the movie right now.
Right. How many times you was in there looking through the aisles cruising? I know you was cruising.
I was on Punishment a lot.
A lot.
You couldn't do nothing but watch movies.
I know, but it's good. But the ones who tend to be on Punishment a lot, if they were smart, they were reading and doing.
I was listening to the radio.
Trevor's
It's still-
actually the
it's
fifth grade
still-
spelling bee champ. I want you to know that.
5th grade? That's
If any 5th or 6th grader walks through this door right now,
Is on.
take him
Yeah.
down
On
right
site.
quick.
Yeah.
Don't even.
My mother focused on education in the household.
Yeah, he always
Peace
corrects
to
me on my
them,
spelling, so I mess with him a lot about.
Nice.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
a spelling prowess right now. He's actually a good
That's what's
speller,
up.
but,
I ain't even mad. And I see.
I got one for you. The ladies' night. What does that mean? Talk to me about
No,
that.
I was about to say that's why it's a good thing. He looks intelligent.
No, he's there.
Yeah, it's him right there.
Yeah,
Nephew in
it's
the
a little
building.
gentleman.
Yeah, he ready to go.
So
He's
ladies-
$3 too. Watch
Ah,
it.
no,
Every
no,
time
no,
he
no.
curse.
No, he didn't give me eye contact,
don't-
so I'm good.
Yeah, don't curse with us.
No, no, I peeped that. You know what I'm saying? Once they give you eye contact, then it's like, I need to talk to
Yeah,
you.
go ahead and give up that $3.
No, no, no,
He
no.
waiting. He playing cool, but he waiting.
You trying to see? Look, he spun around and just gave me the over shoulder now. Shit.
Go ahead. Mess
I
up
done
if you want to.
You trying to set me
I'm
up?
just here trying to make sure my nephew get his couple dollars. He
See
get
if I
me.
got 3.
I put 3 to the side because I know I'm gonna curse once a time I see him. I just put it to the side.
Always.
DJ Fly Ty's on about a $6 habit with nephew right now.
Oh,
He
God.
mixing here and realize his nephew be right after the show. Like, I'm $6.
He's Italian?
Yeah, he's together.
yeah.
It's like a ching, the thing like ching is adding on us right now. We gonna.
I'm like that white girl. Catch me outside.
So, yeah, we'll be all messed up in here, but yeah, let me mess with you. Ladies' night.
Yes.
Talk to me about ladies' night. I told you that's one of the first time I'm in my late 30s allegedly, and
Don't be ashamed of
I'm 38. Everybody,
No,
you
don't
heard it.
feel-
Everybody, whoever's out there,
Listen.
you heard it finally. I've been hiding
Right.
it.
Don't feel
Nah, I'm
bad
joking.
about that.
happy with
I
30.
just I recently celebrated my 50th birthday.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So-
Get something for that. I know there's something going on
At
there.
first, a lot of people's like, "Oh, you shouldn't say." Get the hell out! Listen, what did we get?
I pray.
That's for the
I
young
make it to
people that
50.
be scared to move on because they ain't doing nothing with their life.
Yeah, basically.
Right, so the
So,
gay.
That's why Trevor said. That's why Trevor said. If you,
But you 28, I'm 25, you 30, I'm 25, you ain't doing nothing with your life.
Yeah.
When you start doing something with your life, I'm 31.
Right, because
I'm
you with the
35.
other
Yeah,
30
you're
is whatever.
focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, Hot 97.
Hot 97,
How did I wind
ladies'
up?
night.
How did I
that
wind
whole-
up there?
Yeah, talk to me about that
First.
whole ladies' night thing.
Part of my legacy, part of the journey, part of the grind was my mixtape. The era of when I was still on the streets and pushing mixtape. In the mixtape era, making legacy and stamps.
Are we talking Young Star?
Young
Yeah,
Star,
Entertainment City?
Everything. Harlem Music Hut.
125th
Just,
Street.
just so many places where I had to pop around and move around
Street,
and
downtown
distribute. Yes, distributing, and that
Music
was me.
Factory.
Same way I'm coming here hand to hand and just physically handing you something. I've created my legacy, one mixtape at a time, and then after that, once the Africans got a hold of it and everybody was Muhammad,
It's a wrap.
I was bootlegged.
Alhamdulillah.
So it's disheartening, but at the same time, it's like being bootlegged is magical.
I mean, they want
because they want you and they spreading you. So then, boom, that made me hot in the world, in the universe, and on the streets. At the time, a young lady who was managing me, her name was Nicole, and she used to always bug Hot 97. They was like, all right, come up here. And, told us what the criterias were to come up there. And I did everything that was needed because,
Who was a part of that ladies' night when you got up there?
Well, what I'm giving y'all the whole.
Yeah, break it down.
So then, when when they decide, okay, yeah, we like you, but this is what we have to offer. I'm thinking I'm gonna get a Jazzy Joyce show, like Flex got his show, like I've been out here, like what?
Yeah, why
So
not?
then, boom, it's presented. Here's the opportunity. You're gonna have to collaborate with this chick, which is another collaboration with somebody I don't know. Okay.
Another
And then-
time you're
and
associated
another-
with somebody else
That's
for
right.
10 more years.
Right. For how many of
Yeah.
it? So boom. And I'm right there at the crossroads. That's the crossroads. How many times have we been at those crossroads of decision?
Right.
Making like, do I do it or do I not?
Yes.
Yeah.
We here right now at the crossroads, all of us right now.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
we all at the
yeah.
crossroads.
But that's
right
why
now.
me talking about this, it's explaining it the way I do helps others understand
100%.
the correlations and the parallels in my decision making on this.
Not even to cut you off, I would say that one of those correlations...
And I'm gonna bring it back to
Yeah,
that.
definitely, please do. One of those correlations was that idea that you said you handed out your mixtape one person at a time, one fan at a time. I feel like we at American Dream Radio are in that same pocket.
One interview at a
We're
time.
looking at one interview at a time, one fan at a time, one like at a time, and we all strongly believe that we'll have 1 million people eventually making our show, and that's just the idea.
I'm a
so.
shining example of if I didn't put that first mixtape in the universe, where would I be? I was just a young lady from the Bronx, a little young girl. So you know what I mean? That was
Shout
the
out to
first
BX,
part.
man.
So anyway, so they brought me up there, and then it was like, okay, damn. Imagine if I didn't make that decision to do that. And that show went on to have 15 years success. Do you know how I would have been aching inside, depending on what else I would have wound up doing
Still,
afterwards.
nah, I'm gonna be honest, but still, you
But
can't.
that
There's certain ones you can't.
Right.
Ain't no,
So-
once you miss the NBA, you missed it. Ain't no,
Like, yo.
you missed Ladies Night. That was legendary. You might have missed that one.
I took the chance, and that's what, sustained me and carried me for that decade and a half, 15 years. Because
Did it run? I want to say on Friday night. So what night?
Friday night from 8 to 10, and then we got kind of bumped down. That was the starting process of we're about to get you bitches out of here. Excuse me, I'll give them $3. And then,
He's ready now.
you know what I'm saying? So, when you don't see,
It's the business.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just the
and
business.
just look at my life. I was famous at 13 and then grew up in this. So everything that I had to go through, life, love, business, educate, just everything I went through it in front of y'all.
Nice. So that's what we're
It's
gonna-
not nice.
We watched you grow.
Well, it's not nice in that sense. But shout out to Fabulous in the word nice.
Yeah.
But this is what we're gonna do. I wanna throw on some music, see if we can find some sweet tea or something.
You got that flow?
Got something just sitting back there. You never know.
You
what's
got the
out there.
record?
Listen.
Okay.
But this is what we're gonna throw into that. We're gonna come back around 1 o'clock. I want to get into your life from the timeline. I want to know how you got famous at 13.
Okay.
It's a 12-year-old right now that's trying to get famous. So I want to know exactly how this started and get into it.
All right.
American Radio. Yeah.
To hear the sound of the female group that's new in town. Sweet trio with Jazzy Joyce, kicking it live, the #1 choice.
Go.
And I'm so fresh, and I'm so strong. 3 girl MCs, you can never go wrong. Adding some bass just to speed up the pace for all the party people of the human race. It's a deaf new beat without a job. It's Jazzy Joyce, rock, turning it out. We got class non-stop with the aim to fame. At the top of the list, always winning the game. We're fresh like a bet, cool in the game. When we rock on the mic, you know it ain't no thing. We won't prolong, won't hesitate. Party people, ha-ha, we are crime rate. Non-stop, party rocking. It's your mind that we are shocking. Jazzy Joyce has got them jumping. Can't you hear that bass just thumping? Non-stop, party rocking. It's your mind that we are shocking. Fingers snapping, hands clapping. It's that time for you all to meet sweetly.
I got a sweet sounding melody. I put the boogie in your body at an MC show. I got a different sound for your radio. And when I'm at a party, it's a similar thing. I rock a party non-stop with the words that I sing. When I look in the crowd, who's looking at me? Disco is hip hoppers, all kinds of MCs. There are break dancers on the floor. Electric boogie is poppers, plus a whole lot more. And when I follow the beat, you know who I found? It's Jazzy Joyce, rocking the funky sound. You see it's cut for cut, and beat for beat. To be on the top, you gotta compete. You see it's mix for mix, and rhymes for rhymes. To rock a party non-stop, you gotta speak on time.
Non-stop party rocking. It's your mind that we are shocking. Fingers touch, sweet to the taste, Chrissy to rock the party. With Outland Great, you see they call me Sugar Light. I'm a definite joy. I'm Sugar Light, the one and only. I'm the real McCoy. I always deliver, never let the crowd down. From state to state, or from town to town. You see, I'm from Queens, if you know what I mean. I like to party all night on the disco scene. A non-stop party is what I like when I'm on the dance floor or on the right. The beat on the bass, cruise out crowd. The mix on time, but not too loud. Well, it's me, Sugar Light, Sugar how it's done. So come on, part to people, let's have some fun.
The Matrix Studios Network.
I'm gonna do that and dump all my whole collection because I still got it.
Every DJ needs that.
Yeah, y'all. Y'all felt that right there. That was something classic. I just want to know one time, what'd you think when you first heard that just now? Like, did it bring you anywhere? Do you remember that moment still? Does it take you back anywhere?
Yo, I've been through so much.
Yeah.
And what it actually made me think about and what I'm thinking about just now as I look like I'm kind of daydreaming is I recently had to surrender my record collection because I was getting evicted and stuff.
You had to surrender the record.
Surrender it, yeah. I had almost 1 million records. I could no longer maintain it. So, yeah, you know, because it's a lot
Right,
to move the collection, to all this stuff. So what it made me think was, damn it, did I snatch 2 copies of that out when I was going through what I was going? Because I know I got my original It's My Beat and a couple of other records, but I don't know if I
My
did.
beat is
I'm in my
Yeah,
tears.
but
I got a question.
snatched
Where's the
that.
record collection?
I had to sell it.
Okay, yeah, because I was about to say, is it?
Did
Can
you
we
sell it
buy
to
this?
somebody
Like,
that's
All the way out in Chicago. White guy came.
well,
white guy?
Yeah,
are they musically
reputable.
inclined? And,
Yeah.
that's good.
No,
Long
he
as
can't.
somebody got us.
You know, he was thorough too. Like when they came through, like and these are the experiences that I want to talk about in my book.
Okay.
And I'll be doing workshops.
Me and
in
Trevor
the
like
fall.
hip hop junkies. I know Tiffany loves hip hop. Ty, obviously. So when things like that, when you say you had to sell your record label, first thing we thought the same thing. Like, where is it at? Like,
Yeah.
I'm coming to get it.
you're like, how much can we? Let's get this together now, y'all. Like, is there
So
somewhere we
that's
can get our
what it
hands?
made me think about that, but it also made me think about who I was when I like all of the things that I went through.
At that time.
Yeah, like that is music does
Music
that.
does that, yes.
Marks a
Yep.
place in
Timestamp.
time.
Yes,
right?
it does.
Yes, and it also brings us together through
Right.
it hashtags our experiences
Gotcha.
through the time and through the music. Like when the Benjamins came out, we all remember how
I remember.
you remember being at a party and they played it 8 times in a row.
Crazy.
You remember being at a
That
party
was
they
Stay
played
Key on Allerton Day.
Yeah.
and I
Right.
remember having to play it
Right.
8 times in a row.
I think I might have been
Now, what
dancing while
made
you
you
was winning.
want to be a DJ? You know, being that's a male. I don't want to sound sexist, but
Yeah.
it's a male-dominated sport. You know, and I grew up buying the Kid Capri's. I grew up
Ron G.
Doo-Wop, Ron G, SNS, all that Brucey B. I'm telling you, I got I Rock.
You couldn't go outside for nothing.
I still have them.
You need to transform them to MP3s.
I'm ready. I'm waiting for somebody to sign them because I'm gonna try to
that'd
find
be-
them.
yeah,
But
that's
what
the-
made you want to become a DJ, being that it's a male-dominated sport?
From young, I knew I didn't want to talk about people or talk. And then plus, my cousin who taught me how to DJ, his name was Anthony Carter, Chovy Chove, out of Forest Projects. Him and his family. We weren't really cousins, but my grandmother knew his mother. So you know how black
cousins.
families.
You cousins.
So he taught me how to DJ, and I had to. If I wanted to MC, I would have to wait for 7 MCs to speak first.
Right.
So
Wasn't ladies first.
no,
then.
so if I had to wait all that time, while I'm waiting, I was taking in so much information. And I'm like, he's the one maestro for these 7 people waiting to speak. I'm going to change my position on this. And I studied what he was doing.
Nice.
And I had to wait so long anyway. So I was waiting and taking in information. They wanted to wait to rock on the mic. I was waiting and I was learning
Right.
and learning.
Well,
And then once I had time to touch, now, because that's usually in the student process, you be like, yo,
I need to touch it. I need
when
it.
I'm going to touch them, like basketball,
Right.
anything, haircut, and anything. You like, all right, thanks for telling me how to use the clippers. When can I cut?
Right.
So it's like, I just knew that I was too smart. I knew, because if I was emceeing, you see how I was playing with you. Not play, but you understand, so if it's 7, I'm gonna try to do this to y'all. And with that, I gotta do it with words, and it's just too much. So I didn't know that I knew, but I knew I kind of didn't want to.
Oh, so you was basically a rapper first, somewhat.
No, I was just affected by the culture,
okay.
by birthright.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I saw the graffiti on the trains, and then they was practicing right there in front of me, and hip hop and Forest Projects, and I'm not from Forest Projects, but they were. And not that it's.
I have a question. I know something I recently been trying to do, and
I don't mean to be so long-winded, but
no,
I'll be
come
trying
on,
to
so
think.
good.
We want you to talk, and we wanted to get everything out of you we could. We only got you for a little while. You called me, threw me off for a second, but trying to get a born-on date for hip-hop. I feel like you're one of my aficionados when it comes to hip-hop, so I've been asking people this question. I was born in 1979. Okay, I'm 38, everybody, but I was born in 1979. I feel like in my head, hip-hop was between 75 and 79. Do you have an
Somewhere
official...
I would say.
Can you pinpoint it down to a year, maybe?
No, I think being that Kool Herc is still alive, it's still in the Bronx somewhere, or somewhere in Westchester, Bronx area or something. Like, he should be posed with that question.
I'm definitely looking...
Or someone of that. I can try to make that happen. He's a phone call away. I would definitely love to arrange that.
Please.
Please,
He's been-
718-239-9200. I know
He's
you
been
somewhere
here
Kool Herc
before,
is.
but he hasn't been to the
American
dream.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
what I'm saying.
And that changes everything.
Yeah.
So definitely, I would love to have that
Please
set
make
up.
that happen.
Yeah,
I'm very
it would be my
interested in. I
honor.
feel like that's a legitimate question for some of my hip hop aficionados that like to call you guys. And
'Cause
just
he's
what
like
is
the conduit.
official? What is that?
He would have to really answer that because
November
being that he's-
17th, 19th. I want
Well,
a date.
I know the building.
Sedgwick, I want a date.
know the
I want an
building. I know the
official
building. No.
date. I want to run with that. And I think hip hop. I think that would help hip hop.
But you might
a lot.
want to go watch the Get Down.
Yeah.
Listen,
did.
everybody's
You gotta watch it,
talking about that, right? And I heard it got canceled.
Yeah,
And I'm
so-
very sorry.
Yeah, the second part 2 got
Yeah,
canceled.
they didn't pick it up.
I don't know why. They
But
picked it
they-
up for a little bit and then they just dropped it.
Probably because it's probably been being hit from all kinds of directions about
Was it-
so much stuff that they kind of left out or anything. Who knows what it is? Or I
Right.
don't. But I
got a
can't.
TV question.
I can't say real quick.
Go ahead.
I wish it was still on because it's definitely
Yeah.
it's a
Necessary.
good.
Yeah, it gives you the
thing.
run. It gives you the timeline from hip hop.
Are you
especially
watching
from hip-hop.
Power?
You know. no.
I get it like, come on. You watching? Speaking of TV.
Listen. Hold on. Shouts to Chrissy Monroe. She has her
Chrissy.
charity event that I'm DJing at next month. Look on my Instagram page at Jazzy Joyce for the details on that. But Chrissy, and like recently doing events with her and hanging out and getting to know her, she put me on the Power.
Okay.
And I was like, see, I'm not a big TV watcher.
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, I could take in, it could be in the background, and I could take it in and understand
Same.
it and follow it.
Yeah,
But
same.
to give something, just sit there. The only thing I want to give that much focus to is maybe a movie. Other than that, if you're intelligent and healthy, you're moving,
Right.
you're doing something.
Okay.
Got no time for TV
Well,
really like that. So anyway, Power is good. The little Spanish bitch, she started everything.
We don't
Word,
start on Monday. Don't worry
Word,
about it.
I heard in real life she had to block the comment thing.
They getting crazy on her?
Right, yeah.
should.
And that's how Spanish bitches, excuse me. Y'all be all Spanishy and shit with your shit. Sorry, I got $3. I got
All of
$6.
my Spanish women,
Spanishy.
the views and opinions of Jazzy Joyce do not reflect
Listen,
those.
no, the way she touched down and was moving is just, I bet you know a Carmen, a Maria, somebody just
Shout
like
out to my baby mama.
touchdown. She want to smash the alpha dick, control it, keep her job intact,
I love
control it.
Word.
Smash this nigga on the
Word,
side, have
word.
him all
Yeah,
week,
but you know,
controlling
most wars start over women anyway.
it. The chessboard is an interesting thing.
Exactly.
Because on some
The
boards,
woman on the chessboard is the most powerful piece.
but some boards I'm a pawn and some boards I'm a queen. It depends on who's
looking at-
board.
Right.
Nice.
That's real.
You know, so
Might believe that
But
one
yeah,
there.
power. Shouts to 50.
Yeah.
So real quick, so I just got put on it. So that's my assessment just from the quick put on, like.
Gotcha.
And I popped in the middle, and then I was asking Chrissy some questions, and then now I get the gist of it.
Well, how about this? You are exactly right, what you said.
Right.
On Monday, I think me and Trev sort of mirrored that same conversation. We are tired of Angela Valdez.
Right.
Want her to go.
Spanishy assholes out here fucking up shit.
Spanish.
Yo,
Great.
fuck it.
That's it.
Goya.
Everybody's in there.
Spanish shit.
Nigga.
Like you from the Bronx.
Yeah. Nah, it's all love to my Boricuas. It's just the conversation, but that's how they function. I'm on a, like, think about it. They Latino, 1 minute, no negrita in the house.
Next minute, they know every...
Then when it's the good chocolate one with a little bit of money and the big bang bang, hey, you want something to eat, Poppy?
Nice and bean.
Draw them in, utilize them for whatever, and then when they done with you,
They done.
I ain't never like that nigga anyway.
Yeah, you definitely got that Bronx.
The BX is in the building, y'all. American Freedom
But I
Radio.
love my Latino.
Legendary Miss Jazzy Joyce.
It's the script. I ain't make it up.
No. We going with this. You crazy? This is what we do here.
Power.
We gonna push this over to No Disrespect and let you really get crazy one of these days soon. But
It's more.
Look at how I'm looking at him.
I got you.
they do the podcast from an apartment building and somewhere in the Bronx. It's
Harlem.
real disrespectful.
You
Okay,
out in Harlem.
it's real disrespectful. You ain't even. No
Do you bring
filter.
your son?
Yeah, my son comes.
That's
with
how
us.
can it be disrespectful and you
No,
want to
what
charge
happened?
$3?
No, I don't charge. Let me tell you. They came up with the rule. He just put his hand out and started putting the money in his bag.
Right, because he started realizing
Like, this is
I could get
something.
because I could get chips and
What-
all that
Matter of
after.
fact, I'm gonna tell you. We went to see Captain America: Civil War. Captain America said the word language,
That was it.
and ever since then is language. If I say it in the house, it's language.
To watch your language.
Yeah, watch the
Yeah.
language.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
So
shout out to
he
Lil Trey for
shot.
hustling.
That's
man.
the new.
Appreciate that.
I gotta use
Language.
that.
New generation.
Language.
Something we do at American Dream Radio, and I know we run out of time. We're gonna have you but for too long. I gotta get into this because I want you to really be honest with us. I want to know your top 5 MCs, no particular order, ever. I know this is hard.
Current or dead?
All time. We do this to
All
everybody that walks in
All
here.
time.
Right.
I'm glad you woke up.
I can't get it.
Take this here, y'all. She joined us today. She's
I
like,
was
all
wondering.
right.
I was like in my mind the whole time I'm talking. I was like, Tiff, hello, girl.
You gotta
Jump in
get-
here.
listen.
I'm like, I tried to do
wants
it.
some-
at least-
she wants
at
some
least
girl talk,
earlier.
Tiff. You gotta
But
get
that's
to
why I
it.
tried to draw in with the real estate
Yeah,
thing
no,
and
I'm
everything.
listening. I'm learning.
And I'm
It's
thankful.
officially her second day. It's officially.
No, it's good
Yeah,
stuff.
she's
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, she held it down. She
She
got
held
with
it
our
down.
shenanigans. We had the rawness.
No,
Yeah,
no,
we
I love it.
put her under the pressure last time. So yeah, I need to know this. This is important. But I'm gonna be real with you. I don't even need you to look at me because this, I promise you, this is
okay.
gonna end up on YouTube.
Okay, wait.
The world
Okay,
wants to
repeat
know.
the question.
I want to know your top 5 MCs
Get
all
alive.
time, no particular order. I don't even order. I just want to know the 5 that make it. You go into the casket. You got the headphones with you. These the only 5 you can take with you.
5.
5 of them.
Dylan.
Which fly tide is? Yeah, listen, Ty caught with the same thing when I asked him the first time. He was like, Biggie Smalls. Yeah, I was like, come on.
No, I figured. Shouts to Dylan on
Shout
that
out to
one.
my daddy, man.
Right.
With
but
the cup.
real quick, universally, as I've been moving around and doing some of the recent interviews, I've been asked this question, and you have to understand, because of my longevity and the different sections, it was always different people for different reasons.
Okay.
Right.
So if we're gonna go with currently,
I just want to go with your
overall,
even if it's 5 people from the 80s and
If it's
5 people from the
KRS,
80s.
if it's Rakim, because you was in that era.
It doesn't matter. If it's
You
Jay-Z,
know.
I'm asking you, who are your 5?
this is, you know what? My ears have high mileage on music.
Yeah, that's
it's
why I
not
said-
fair. You understand how much stuff has gone through this?
It's horrible.
It's not fair though.
This is a pressure-packed question. I knew that this would be the response.
Yes,
Can you? Is it
no.
possible?
3.
If you can't, I expect.
So who you rocking with now? Who you like
right now.
Yeah.
See now who I'm. we could say that, but it's not the favorite. It's not. It's what.
All right.
Like
I can live with that.
I'm living. I rocks with Chains, 2 Chains,
Okay.
Migos.
Okay.
And then on my New York, like, I respect what A Boogie did as far as coming from the
shout out to the BX,
everything
High
like
Bridge.
overall with his package, the sound quality of his music, everything like.
He snuck up on me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
He snuck up on me.
but right, because at first when he, being that I am the caliber DJ that I am, we get access to artists before the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
So at first I was soft on them, and my little youngins, because I'm connected to all generations. I'm not just a 50-year-old who's just only dealing with mature people. I'm still, because of the music. So the youngest was trying to put me onto him for a while, and I was like, he all right. He all right.
That's where I was at with it. I was just
right,
like,
and the little stories
But
about
then you
girls
gotta respect what he did.
That's why I said in the top of me acknowledging him. So him, and then there's a couple of acts that just all over the world, but that's locally in terms of what I'm focused on. But my answer and my palette is so different because music means something else to me now than it did. And for you guys consume it. I utilize it. You see, there's a
DJ.
difference. Because now,
Shouts to the
even
DJ.
when I go to a gig, I don't listen to the radio. And when I come from it, I don't listen to the radio because it's you got to give your ears no, not even throw you up. You got to give you your ears a rest.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like constantly talking and never stopping. Like you got to give your ears a rest. So my point of saying that is, I starve my ears so that when I get in the party and when I present the record to y'all, I'm excited to hear it too.
Okay.
Because I starved myself.
Nice.
From
well, I ain't gonna push the top 5 DJ question.
I ran around it.
No, that's good though.
But I had to
I want everybody out there to
make
pay
it
attention.
sense.
That's called media training.
Yes,
101.
yes,
I want
yes.
y'all to pay attention.
Very
to
good.
that. All my
Very
youngins
good.
out there who's looking to get into this world of
I
music.
answered it, but I didn't answer it.
That's
Because you only gave us 2.
Right.
It's all right. We got an hour.
And I was counting.
I know.
No, I gave y'all 3.
She gave us 3.
3.
She gave the High Bridge one, slid in there too.
Okay, you gave us A Boogie.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did.
She did.
Chains
So
and
then-
Amigos.
Yeah.
And then the last
Migos
two.
is a group though, so don't try to put them.
Oh,
You gave 2 of them.
Yeah, don't try
She
to
don't
put
look
them
like she was left
4
on
and
bad
5.
and bougie. That's all I'm saying.
Don't try to put 3, 4, and 5, because 3 of them. Just let you know,
They
it's a
count
group.
as one.
Yeah, 1.
he technical
They get
with
one
his
slot.
pimping.
I told you, you the
It's
smart
not-
one out the group.
it's not
I'm
pimping.
the athlete. It's all right.
Nah, I know.
I
And
know.
when I say.
I know.
But if I don't know,
No, it's not
don't
listening.
ask
Stop it.
somebody like me that.
I knew it would be a hard question for you to answer,
Well,
but
this is a better question then. How do you feel about today's hip hop?
I knew that was coming. Good
Right.
job,
The
Trevor.
switch up.
the way
The mumble rap. Say
yeah,
it.
the mumble rap. You know the way we went from lyrical, Nas coming in from with Illmatic at 19 years old to now we got all the mumble and hey,
Right.
and you don't really
Listen.
understand what the hell
It's
they're
hip-hop.
talking about.
All right. They are like that because of the drugs and life.
I see you said I did because I felt the same.
That
No,
is
no, no.
so true.
No, that
I
is
didn't
real.
even think about
That's
it like
that
that.
damn-
It's
Because
different.
that's how they talk and that's how they move. It's
That's
like
right.
in slow motion. Like
Because they're all drugged up. They're all
It's that
because
lean.
it's yeah.
It's
It's
lean.
the
It's more than that, man.
circumstances of the life. But
Right.
of course, but I'm just telling you to summarize it in one. Like for example, for me, right? When I was DJing, I've had a long career, so I made the correlation when I thought back sometimes. Like I remember at the point when I realized when Molly came into the urban communities.
Lord.
You know how I made the correlation? We don't really drink bottled waters that much.
Right.
Straight
Seen 'em
liquor.
everywhere. You know what you need 'em
Right.
for.
So at the end of the night, when they was sweeping up mad bottled water, like now remember, I've been DJing for a long time, seeing a lot. So I was like,
They wasn't sweeping them up at originally.
right, there wasn't that many bottled waters because they was dehydrated, and that's when when it first came in, the first levels of ecstasy and Molly, everybody was so nice.
And you need the water to push it through.
Right,
Not that I ever tried, but if I did, they would say that you needed the water
Right.
to
So then
keep
I
the
was
party
You
going.
get a dehydration, Poland Spring.
Right. So then I'm seeing all of these bottled waters at the end of the night, and I'm like, oh my God, it's here.
Yeah.
You see?
What do you
So
think
now,
it worked
look.
in the crack epidemic? When that epidemic hit? and-
Well, for me, I witnessed the crack epidemic and the heroin epidemic, and that's why they redesigned the drugs so that you can't see the fallout so easily, and the kids can't make the correlation of it being so devastating. See, when
But
I
it's
was
the same
older,
thing.
I know it's the same thing. They revamp. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So, boom.
Designer drugs, right?
Right. When I was younger, when we seen a dope fiend, we would see them nodding in the street. So you may be young but not realize, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
But then you make the correlation. Now the nod is not public as much.
Yeah.
But there's other things that are public. But instead of it being public, kinda, it's even worse. It's viral.
It's hard.
You know. So anyway, to answer your question and bring it back to the music, they sound like that because look at the hell we're in.
Yeah.
The drugs that they're affected by. So they got this. Remember, before us, there was no machines. So you had life to figure out. Now they got life and the machines and how to figure out how to
Yeah, make 'em work.
maneuverate.
Yeah, make 'em work.
And then it's just a lot. It's a lot going on with all of the hashtag name and that person's not here no more. Like it's a lot. So if you had to make a soundtrack to that, how sweet would that sound?
Oh, Lord.
Talk to me, people.
I don't know.
So you see what I'm saying? The soundtrack to our lives and our journey was the beat. When people be
Yeah, we was
trying-
bopping still.
right, but they not bopping.
Nah, now we
They
here.
like, yo,
Percocet.
Yo.
Percocet.
Shit is hard. Bitches
Well,
got me
you
proud.
right.
I don't know.
What?
I just.
Please put up a Jay-Z album.
Right, nah, but some of them, even in that mumble, some of them are slick and fly with it, but y'all just so angry you not listening. Remember, I'm a DJ. And part of me being able to kind of go within the mumble rap and understand that stuff is my early days of deciphering Jamaican music.
Nice. Nice.
I'm born and raised in the Bronx, so I lived amongst the Jamaicans and walked amongst and heard the songs in the cars. And
Chatta.
So me as an American, and I'm a DJ, and they don't know it, I was picking songs like, oh, American person could kind of decipher what that says.
Right.
So people don't even realize how much of an assistance I was to their culture. Being that when I was on the radio, I lived in the Bronx and was so instrumental and just, so I was kind of like a liaison for their culture and a little bit like picking, because if you notice, there's less and less Jamaican music coming down through because there's not somebody like me.
Yeah, because they
who
just
would-
remixing it now.
they not really, because I was going to dance hall dances and this and that. So
not
me
like it
as an
no more.
American, like I said, again, understanding their slang. So I'm like, oh, he just said what?
What's a
He
guan?
said what?
What's
Wait,
a guan?
no. He said, her pussy good. Sorry, that's $3. She drop it tight. She would like to be able to
Yeah.
decipher, but they're saying it in such strong accent. So anyway, the point of what I'm saying is
Mumble rap got us in
mumble
trouble.
rap. No, me being able to weed through, me and other people like myself being able to weed through mumble rap and find the greatness. I'm telling you what was some of the fine tuning and training and to be able to decipher that. So, is a Jamaican saying, is he considered mumble rap? Like, you understand? Like, but in the
culture.
You see
I would
what I'm
say,
saying?
and me and Trevor sort of had this conversation a little bit. I just think in this day that we
Good
live
point.
in,
Very good.
I would think in this day that we live in that that's just the way they are processing the music.
But,
now.
it's not everybody that's doing it though.
No, it's not, because you still
Not
have
all
your
of them that's
Davises,
there. Right.
and you still have the Vados, and
Because you
some of
got
these other guys that are
Don
still...
Q, that's from high bridge,
Don Q is
and he's
fire.
nice. He comes from the era of lyrics.
Yeah,
Right.
but you know,
but
you
then
still...
it's just
It's
everybody's on that
different.
wave.
Listen, it's a mother like your mother
Right.
that made you bad, you gonna read. You gonna do something else. And then there's other mothers who was hanging with their kids.
Okay.
You bad, go in the fucking room. They smoking weed, they whatever. I got it.
I got you. Don't worry about it. I know him. I get your dollar.
But $3, right? $3. But you understand? So I guess a gentleman or a young lady or a kid who grows up and does this, then that's a product of what they've grown up in. And then the mumble rap is the raw. It is what
I don't mind it. I know, like, me and Trevor sort of, that's what I'm sort of getting. So, I like, me personally, I understand that every generation just has a sound. And I just feel like...
This is the soundtrack to their life.
When I'm bad hit, my parents went crazy. Like, what is that rap? What is that noise? And they just couldn't wrap their mind around Tougher Than Leather and I'm Bad. And
we would welcome that now.
We loved it. But, now it's the same thing for us. We're not our parents. And we're like, yo, what is this? No. We can't. It's just not our generation. But my daughter is 13.
Right.
She'll go crazy if you try and disrespect some of these mumble rappers. I'm like, Daddy, you just ain't hip.
Right.
You don't know.
Right.
And I said to myself, oh my God, I'm my father. I don't want to be.
Right.
Like, at that point, I immediately was like, you know what?
You almost want to snatch her back, shove her back in her mother's vagina. Like, no, because I don't want to deal with this.
See, but this is how I deal with it.
How?
When we're home, I know he don't listen to mumble rap, but I'm still listening to Nas. I'm still listening to Jay.
Gotcha.
I just finished watching the documentary on Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre.
It's
on
HBO.
It's
It's on
dope.
HBO. It's very
I
good.
watched it.
Very
I watched
good.
it for the first time and watched it again while he's on the iPad. But he's looking like when they playing F the Police, and he's like, "This what you listen to?"
Right.
Like,
But later on,
he'll understand. Like outside of them yelling F the Police, there's a message in that, and you can still play F the Police today because of what's going on.
Wait.
He sees it.
1 second. Did you hear about the young man that joined the police officers? Rest in peace to the police officer that got killed last week. But the young man was playing F the Police during the funeral.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's my neighborhood.
He got evicted.
That's my neighborhood.
He got evicted.
Wait, hold on.
During the funeral procession,
like a
He was
memorial
blasting
service.
to speak out his window saying F the police. F the
But
police.
he said that his brother and one of his closest friends
Got killed by the police. That was his reason.
He was saying respect to the lady that passed away, but it
F
was
the
like
police.
F the police.
Yeah,
Right, because you know what happened? It's over. Well, I've had loss in the force as well.
Okay. Well, it's not to say that
No.
all cops are bad because
but
there
I've
are
lost
some
on the
that's
street. But I was, I wasn't staying in it, but I was just I was letting y'all know, like, I know what that was. It's like, rest in peace to Sean Carrington. But it's both sides to it. So it's like he probably was like seeing all of them, because when they come through, when they lose one of them, they come through. It's real deep. So
it's
to
uncomfortable.
See, right? So he probably was like, yo,
like,
yo,
block
this how y'all rap it?
Block it down.
And they rushed his crib too, and he didn't get evicted till like 3 days later. I just seen the article.
Well, if you're getting evicted, that probably had a lot to do, not just because you blasted music out your window, because
No, they made it. No, they probably just, when they go, listen, the police, they just went hard.
Yeah, they don't play.
And got him out of here.
Probably
Listen,
Chief
my
Cole
peoples,
landlord.
it's ending.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back on.
It'll be back. Don't worry, we always do. We ending and coming back.
yeah,
on, bring it back up.
we got some good stories from you. So I guess we got to go to some music right now.
I got one more. Todd, throw on the something, man, and we're going to come back in a sec. All right, there, that's DJ Fly. Todd, Mr. Life of your party, man. Todd, thank you for giving us something special and rocking with us today, man. I know we ain't got you on the ones and twos as much today, but
hey, it don't matter. Legendary
conversation. Yeah, I was about to say, we'll be back Friday.
We sit down for that.
Yeah, you might be working all day Friday, so enjoy this little time off, brother. Me and Trev might be somewhere hiding on Friday, and let's put the camera on you. So get ready, man. It's warm off for the rest of the week. But Miss DJ Jazzy Joyce, the legend, is in the building. I got a quick question before we go back into what I really want to get into. I feel like legendary Jazzy Joyce is now attached to your name. Has that always been the case, or is that something that happened recently over the last few years? But I don't really hear you being introduced anymore. And I'm hunting. I'm always is. I don't miss anything is my favorite line. So when they introduce you now, they sort of go with legendary DJ Jazzy Joyce. Is that now part of the name? Is it officially part of it? Are we?
I think it's been an attachment that has been added from my recent connection with my new PR manager, Jenna.
Shout out to Jenna one more
Jenna
time.
Hirsch.
Yeah, she's dope too. Yeah, shout out to
Now,
Jenna.
let me ask you something.
But it's a fact. But I guess in the sense of the thought of someone being legendary, but no one.
We have to celebrate the legends in our
Right,
time.
you have to.
That's one
And
of the
you're
things.
definitely legendary.
We mentioned that to April Walker. We mentioned that to some other people. Like, I feel like people pass away and then all of a sudden we champion them and we celebrate them, but while they're here, we don't get a chance to celebrate them. So that's something at American Dream Radio we make sure that we focus on. That's why the April Walker wears get a chance to walk through this door.
Shouts to April
Shout out to April Walker
yeah.
where get your ass
Catch
off
us
the
in
couch.
the MC Light video together. I was sitting next to her.
Hey,
I
we
can't think of.
Just wanna-
in one ear and right out the other.
We're gonna find it. I promise you we're
I'm
gonna find it.
about to call my man right now.
It's a shame. You know why I don't remember the name of the record is because after all these years, it's like there's friendships in business that just don't last. And you think about it, like look
I can imagine.
Yeah, so
I think that's in the industry.
Was
though,
it Light as a Rock?
I am L-Y-T-E.
Yeah, I think- yeah,
I am
yeah,
a
right.
rock.
Yeah, I think it's
When you say you love me, it doesn't matter.
It going to my head.
Get up.
April Walker and myself were in that. So two legends were sitting in the legendary female MC video. So we were three legends. So it's
Man.
like
We gonna this one I'm gonna do.
April
I'm gonna
Walker,
poke fly tie as soon as the cameras ain't looking. I'm gonna get them to find that song. But we gonna what's that one more time?
I think Light as a Rock.
Light as a Rock. Yeah, that was my joint too.
Oh
Actually,
yeah,
but,
on the train.
I know we definitely.
Because Missy Elliott took she sampled that line.
right, and then
And
when
her
made
with Timbaland and Magoo did a song, and they just love me.
Shout out to Timbaland.
It doesn't matter. It goes shout out. Yeah.
We wanna. I wanna make sure we motivate people here.
Okay.
And one of the things that I feel is very motivational is when somebody hears this conversation about how a young girl from the Bronx managed to get to this point where she's being flown around the world with her turntables and
Yes.
everybody got the honor. So I really want to ask you, like, at
13.
13. How'd this happen? Like you were a kid at 12, you was chilling, and 13 you're famous. Explain that to me.
Because I was born and raised in the Bronx, New York. It's the home and the hub of hip hop.
Yes, it is.
And then, everyone outside of us looking back at us, what we were doing, they were like, what the hell? So I didn't know that was the early stages of fame.
Do you remember the year, just so, just to really, I know I'm dated a little bit.
No,
I'm sorry.
I started...
13, I'm like 14. How old were you around that time? I mean, what year was that around that time? Was that 1970?
I'm 50. You do the math.
Oh, come on, Trev. Is the smart one? I'm an athlete.
I don't do math.
You in this damn hand.
I know what I'm getting. I know how to count my
This nigga
money.
here with this hand. $3 away from the N-word.
I know how to count money,
Because you know
but
why it
we
keeps
trying to make
comes
a
in
couple
my
dollars.
peripheral.
Listen, I can't help it. Just become these little nasty fingers. I'm
No,
gonna
they
bite
good. Dude, you got fat fingers, though.
Hey, I see that out there. Pay attention, ladies. Pay
Little
attention.
chocolate,
Sweet
ball-headed.
tea. It ain't over, girl.
Well, I have
Right,
a question.
now she's
I
still
want to ask
cute.
you.
Ooh.
Life,
still
of course,
popping.
throws a lot of punches at you. How do you still stay true to your dream and your passion when you feel like you don't want to give up? It's not paying off financially.
Right.
Or,
Like, that's, you know what? The realization of that feeling, I know would be there no matter what I was doing. So I'm doing what I've been wanting to do. And I think the one thing that the people who eventually become successful at something, they don't give up. In a sense, like usually when you see who make it, they just gave it everything they got.
Oh.
So in the beginning stages of when I was quote unquote up there and people used to be like, how you do this and how you do that? And I would always say, this is all I do. So my industry got taken over by the weekend DJ with the technology. So it took away the baby shower money, all these other.
The internet.
Tithing in church right now.
eroded at my It eroded at my economic ability. So it's just the same thing with anybody else. Look, the toll booth niggas that you was at the toll booth.
Yeah.
Now they done tore down the toll booth.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
So you see, your question that you posed to me, it don't matter
don't
what
matter
you
what-
doing
yeah,
for a living.
so-
You still gotta find a way to keep pushing. So
That's right.
at least with this one thing, first and foremost, because we almost wrapping it up, and that comes from me being in radio and understanding how this moves. So I just want to say thank you, because this was an excellent interview. I appreciate it. And I'm just thankful. Like, if I didn't do what I did, not unknowingly, but if I didn't do, like, I wouldn't have this opportunity to meet y'all. I wouldn't have, like, so, like, if we was at a 9 to 5 or whatever, like, so we got to create other ways
to get it.
Right. So, but it's nice to be able to, I can see my people, I can interact, we can promote, we can do, so. You just
So what's
gotta
better
look
than
at-
1 million then? Two.
My last question is, you on the mixtape circuit, right? What mixtape DJ you was like, I gotta get, like, made you have that competition, I gotta get like him, or I gotta continue fighting because he's coming, he's coming.
back then?
Who'd you notice? Who?
Oh, well, I didn't really notice anybody because that was as well pioneering as well. And the one person I was cultivated by, one of my mentors, was Kid Capri. So I
still got his old school mixtape. I still got his tape.
I was
That's at my
already
mom's house.
tutored and guided by one of the kings anyway. So it was like I was sort of in a queen position looking at everybody else like, listen, peasants, we the gods.
Not that you're looking at a peasant, but you know how
I'm
that's
being funny,
a
like,
competitive
that's the competitive,
sport. And you
yeah,
gotta-
that should
but
be.
you see how I
Right.
got into the competitive mentality. Like,
It should be.
I got a question.
you are nothing.
Do female DJs come to you now? Because I know there's one in Brooklyn. Shout out to DJ MBG that just follows your lead. And do female DJs come to you and look and come to advice for how to get into the game nowadays?
No, a lot of female DJs don't even. They haven't been educated to know
Who you are?
who I am and what I've done. So that's part of my job too, for being out here too.
Educate
They could look it up, and they don't even know. They to even come to me, and I really, they've been taught incorrectly anyway. They're mocking the craft. They didn't study it, because if they studied the craft, then they would have known of my existence, because someone would have had to mention me.
I want to say this. She said they are mocking the craft.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about
doing
it. And that's how I feel about mumble rap. Because
No. Because the example that I presented
No,
was,
you're right.
look, because what's the difference between a Jamaican who is like, yo,
Right, with the accent.
he's saying that he's
No,
giving a
I
message.
disagree, but
Now, hold on.
that's the thing.
Hold on.
Jamaican music, they
Hold
tell
on.
stories.
Hold on, right. But I know they do. Mumble rap tells story too. It may not be a story you like, but look, I went to
you're
get
right.
some lean. I smashed shorty.
Smash it up.
Afterwards, we went outside.
right. You're right.
No,
You're right.
you're right.
one
But
time.
that's
So
how
what
I
I'ma
felt
say-
in the beginning
Because
because
then you got the mumble Jamaican, and then you got the Barris Hammond,
Right.
somebody, clear, enunciating. So it's,
patois, yeah.
it's,
I recently heard Mr. Joey Badass. Shout out
it's
to
the
Joey
message
Badass.
versus how a lot of us kill the messengers instead of listening for the
I was about to say, I recently heard Joey Badass say it. Hip hop is grown into this huge umbrella, and it's no longer just hardcore. It's no longer
Why y'all
just
ain't talking about
mumble.
all the white
It's no
rappers
just
trying to sneak in
white
on the
rappers
side? Like,
sneaking
y'all want to
in.
mumble. Let's talk about that.
and the reason why
Get 'em, Trevor.
let me tell you, the reason why I don't
care
talk
about
about
that.
the
As long as
some
they
of the white
don't.
rappers that come in because look, MC
at Homeboy.
Search found Nas, right?
Sort of.
Yeah, he like basically just
Look,
fine, Nas.
I know way too much
Yeah, I'm
for
just
us
saying.
to be going into stuff. Shouts
Right,
to
we don't have
MC
enough- we
Search.
don't have enough.
Yeah. Because I could
know,
have said
I
something
feel-
and it would have been a bomb
right.
dropping.
But I
thing.
feel like the white rappers that came in, Eminem, he came in with the knowledge and the lyricism that, okay, he really can spit. Outside of the playing and hi, my name is, when he came in with that, when you actually listen to what he's saying, what's the song? Rap God is like one of my favorite that he has most recently.
When I met him in real life, in person, he was shady to me, Slim Shady. They almost had to get security. And it was only me, him, and his manager at the time. Imagine that.
Right.
And it wasn't no internet and all of that. So he was kind of.
I'm glad you segued into that question. I do got one for you. How do you feel about the internet and how it's sort of used today? Because I know this wasn't a tool when you were coming up, and now it sort of seems to be everyone's a reality star. Everyone's got their own show. We all got these phones and computers in our hands.
Every DJ party is
Every
lit.
DJ party is lit.
No, that's not true. It's just the angles.
You know what I'm
and the
saying? They would think we having a party in here every time. It'd be 5 people in here. I'd be like, listen, that's just how I make it look. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Question to you
exactly.
is, how do you...
It doesn't bother me because I existed before the machines. So I understand how life was without this. So even with it, I know how to manipulate it and utilize it because I saw it, because of my age, saw it utilized and infiltrated. So it doesn't... What hurts me is that the younger generation not knowing life without it.
It's amazing. My daughter has no clue.
Yeah,
She doesn't watch TV.
It's almost
she
like
literally is here.
I love it, but at the same time with kids, especially sometimes it's when I'm like, yo, I want to sit and draw with you.
Right.
Let's talk, because that's
Yes,
intimate time with their mother. They want to get to the iPad, and that's disheartening for me. So it's like, me saying that out loud, and for y'all to understand it, y'all got to get away. Because even and I don't mean to be like that, but one time, I'm walking and this little guy was with his bigger brother, and his bigger brother was on the phone, and I was like, get off the phone so you can see what the hell is going on in the street. How are you going to see if you didn't put your phone down, you couldn't get your pimping on. You got to see him.
Right.
It's easier to pimp on the phone, though.
I'm just glad you identified that Trevor is out here. You know what? I'm going to get into that conversation. If I ever say it's me again, a new person walking into the room and realize who was who.
It's his gestures, his smile, his tone, everything. Like, I realized the je ne sais quoi and his suave.
I like
that. And it's just me, as I make references, it's constantly saluting you. It's kind of a poke salute.
Right,
so
thank you. I appreciate it. I understand.
Like, I see
Constructive
you.
criticism.
Like,
Poke him a little bit.
No.
This we want to do. I want to give Fly Ty this last 5 minutes
I got a
before we
quick
go.
question, quick
I want him to definitely get his question.
Yes.
I want to.
And I'm
gonna
sorry.
close this off.
Next
Don't worry
time,
about it.
may I come back? And next time when I come
That's
back.
where we was going. Hold on. We was going there.
And I'll touch the turntables. And let's wait till after the summer, because it'll be a little cooler.
Please.
Right, it's hot in here.
Change the outfit, and then when I
September.
come back, the t-shirts will be long sleeve. Y'all will be talking to me on the internet.
I got a lot of stuff for the winter time I could throw on.
I didn't even get a chance to ask you no sports questions, so we definitely go. You coming back? Don't worry about it.
Yes.
Ty, shoot. Go ahead.
Hold on,
Yeah.
Jazz. I'm gonna segue my DJ point because I want to see how you feel about this. Listen to this comment. It says, "New York has lost its musical fabric. You get 5 DJs spinning at the same party, playing the same top 40 to 50 type songs. Why? Because everyone's playing radio songs. The radio has made the agenda different. There used to be a time when you can never hear radio songs in the club. You never hear club songs on the radio. New York radio is responsible for killing the fabric of New York City sound. It used to be okay for every region to have its own sound. No one is trying to be different with their style of presentation in NY no more. Do you agree?"
Ooh,
Loaded.
we only got a few.
No, it's all right.
Yeah,
man.
no.
I'm willing to
Ultimately,
sacrifice my segment for that.
Yes. No, there's a whole lot of contributing factors that influence that. Let's let it center around the American dream. How many artists come through to your situation,
She's good.
to your
Platform.
platform, and you feel like they're dope. They like you want to promote, support them, and even when they come through, they don't come through knowledgeable. Their conversation seems boring. You almost want to be like, could you just go? Because you're not. It's a whole gang of them. So ultimately, New York, because of it's way more expensive to live here. They're cutting down on a lot of things. Scammers are getting arrested. Drug dealers are getting arrested. Somebody has to fund this. Let's talk real talk.
Yeah, you're right.
So that is an erosion on who's coming through, who's pushing through. And it has an effect on the equality of artists. Everything, because this is a pretty expensive region to come out of. There's a whole bunch of things. The payola factor. Who's got the... And mind you, when I was on the radio for 15 years, I didn't take payola.
You better than us.
No, you should.
No, that's
No, you should. It's set up for that. No, it's
That's
set up.
Khalil speaking for Khalil.
No.
Don't worry about last week, everybody. Go ahead and
No,
cut
but
that
I'm
check.
saying it's set up. You should, but understand my legacy. You know, pioneering, didn't know any better, grew up. I didn't go to broadcasting school, so I was put in a situation, and so believe me, if I had the chance to do it all over again,
A lot of people took a lot of
15 years,
checks.
15 years,
There's a lot of checks being slid under the table.
and I was at and you know where I was at. So anyway, it's just all of these things, and then the business component and the controlling components and of the machine have an influence on it. So it doesn't mean that more or better wanted to push through or couldn't. It's just the politics. There's not as much DJs to help because the dismantlement of the wall of DJ, because we really controlled and influenced
We did.
what was coming through to y'all.
the sound.
We did.
Right. So once they eliminated the power, it
right.
influences that. So it's like, how can you expect a DJ to know how to even break a record to a crowd on the dance floor if they're mocking and they didn't study?
Let the mic go.
American Dream Radio, y'all hear that right now. We dropped a little knowledge for y'all. I'm gonna put it under the spot because we do this before we let everybody slide out that door.
When the DJs get better, it'll get better. Like,
DJs working your craft, that's what I heard.
the
there.
music. No, I'm just saying it will help.
I got one for you. We'll close it here, and I'm definitely gonna let you plug where you're at and everything. But before we even get to that, I want to know, there's a little girl or a little boy, and he's not in Brooklyn, Trevor. He could be anywhere in New York. And she's gonna take in this interview. He's gonna take in this interview, and I want you to give him advice on how do they keep persevering and how do they get from point A to point B. And we'll be advice to this kid that's somewhere right now. He's 12. She's 12, she's about to get on, she's trying to get on. What can you tell that kid to sort of get them dreaming and pushing them in the American Dream model?
An American Dream model would be from Jazzy Joyce to you and the American Dream team. No matter what you decide to focus on, study the history of it, first and foremost. And do it to your fullest, to the best, so that you can decide if this is what you want to do. So that maybe, okay, you want to back out and try something else. You give yourself enough time. But it doesn't matter what you try to do. Make sure you love it, because whatever it is, you're going to have to do it over and over and over and over. And if you don't like it, that is the most torturous space to be in.
Right.
If you want to be a dentist and you don't love it, everybody's breath is going to stink. You understand?
Think about it, yeah, exactly.
No, that's real.
That's real.
Well, listen so much. Everybody out there, American Dream Radio. I am
Find
your
me.
host, King Khalil 400. This
Right.
we gonna do. Cool ass Trav, man. One more time. Where can they find you? I know the no disrespect thing going on. Talk to me. They looking for you, Trav.
Well, I'm Cool Ass Trevor on Instagram, No Doubt Disrespect Podcast, and the YouTube page. They can subscribe to that. You know, I got to get in contact with Kev because,
Supposed to come up and
well, yeah, I'm thinking I'm trying to get that going. So
yeah,
for
let's,
next
let's
week,
work on that. So,
you know.
and when you coming back on No Disrespect on Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday.
So I'll see you here Friday
Yeah,
before.
every Saturday. No disrespect.
All right, I'll see you here Friday. Don't worry about it. Miss Tiff Real Estate, you're selling a $1.4 million building. You got a lot of things going on. Where can they stalk you, find you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Miss Tiff Real Estate. You can find me on Twitter, Miss Tiff RE, and you can find me on Facebook, Miss Tiff Real Estate.
Is your DM still taking DMs right now?
My
or-
DM is for business use.
I just want to know because I killed my emojis. I just want to,
Business use only.
No, I know you leveled up, but do you still do apartment? Just asking, just in case if I have to send somebody.
I have one of my best friends. She's an agent, and
So
she does residential, and she's amazing. So if I can't help you, I have.
Did you like that answer though? Because basically she said that she's not doing nothing.
No, she
No,
didn't.
but I mean, also
She
in other
leveled up.
states. In other states too. I've built a network of a whole bunch of female realtors, black female entrepreneurs, just trying to get.
I just needed to know, just in case.
Yes,
And then I go,
So there's a bunch of bachelorette pads just being sold.
Just being sold.
pretty
With that being said, that's a great segue into I'm King Khalil 400. My DM works just fine for everybody out there. Travis
Emojis
Pimpin,
only.
Nah, my emojis are dead. I killed the emojis.
Oh, yeah.
Where can we find Ty?
No, hold on. We're going to get the Ty closing the show off.
Oh,
We need to
my
know
bad.
one more time, where can we find you? I want to know about these T-shirts. I want to
Yes.
know about your website. Just everything. Just give them everything
All right,
now.
everything, the umbrella could be found at my website, www.djjazzyjoyce.us. And then find me on Instagram at Jazzy Joyce. Find me on Twitter and Facebook at DJ Jazzy Joyce. And Need That Rose Gold has its own Instagram page as that Need That Rose Gold, so you can see everything that's going on.
And I need that.
The new,
photograph.
I know. And shouts out to Dominica Stara. I
Yeah.
produced a song called "Oh" with her. Shouts out to Kim for Life. I'm going to Atlanta August 5th. I'm DJing at a roller skating rink.
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
been at
Peace
I
and
haven't
love,
been
peace and
to
love.
Atlanta in a while, and then I come from the roller skate, so that's a double.
Nice.
So doing the Chrissy Monroe event, charity event next month. Anyway, all of that's on my gram. Follow me. And this is Jazzy Joyce. I'd like to thank y'all sincerely. I really enjoyed myself this afternoon. If you have lunch, if any of y'all having lunch, tune in with them. Make sure
Murder
lunch.
Dream Radio,
yes.
please. One more
Yeah.
time, we want to make sure you know this, Miss Jazzy Joyce. Thank you so much for coming. All of us are true hip-hop heads, historians, and fans of your work, and we just appreciate this. We want to make sure we got a chance to celebrate while you were on the planet and still relevant and still popping. One thing we are doing, and we're going to put the pressure on you with the camera right there, you are now a friend to the room. What that means is that anytime you are promoting something, you got something going on, we got DMs. The world has changed so much that we can get at each other pretty quickly. Me and Jenna really friendly with each other. So
Yes,
anytime you got
shouts to
something going
Jenna.
on, let us know so we can say it. We can say it 100 times over and make sure the world knows that Jazzy Joyce is still a legend and she's a friend to the room. So thank you so much for coming.
American Dreaming.
One more time for Jazzy Joyce, everybody. DJ
Yes.
Fly Ty, I know you ain't gonna sneak out of here.
I know I owe about $100 on the curse.
Don't worry about it. We're gonna let it slide because you're a special guest. I'm gonna pay it. This we gonna do, Fly Ty. Give us something, man. You got about 5-10 minutes to yourself. You go on and get busy. Rashad, you owe me 5 minutes. American Dream Radio. King Khalil. Let's go.